Hey guys, this is Juno and welcome back to another Summoners War video. I have heard that the balance patch dropped, and I've also heard that there are some interesting nerfs. So I want to go through it together as someone that have started playing RTA more seriously. You guys can see that I'm still in G1. I actually didn't play today. Going back and forth, I climbed to like 1330 a few days back, and then I dropped all the way back into P3, climbed back up. I'm just in this fiesta, okay? It seems like I'm fit to be here at the moment. As soon as we get to the end of the season, I'm pretty sure more people will come in and we'll see how we end up with. Let's go check out the balance patch because I know that this one was a lot of nerfs and little buffs. Let's see if the nerfs are justified and also if the buffs are meaningful enough for them to be used in RTA or Siege, so on and so forth. Hey guys, before we start the video, if you guys are interested in getting advice and help from me and other Summoners War players, feel free to join my Discord, where the link is in the descriptions below. Also, if you enjoy my content and want to support me, become a Patreon, where the link for it is also in the descriptions. We know that usually, although they say pre-notice, it just means that it is going to be it. Rarely things change, so let's just take it to face value. Okay, the first thing is Water Gandalf. Increases your attack power by 20%, is now 10% whenever an ally with the shield is attacked. I think this is a meaningful nerf, but at the same time, I still think Water Gandalf is going to be a great unit. I still want this unit. I've heard a lot of players saying that they'll still have it with their good runes. The survivability that this unit can provide is so much better than a lot of the support units right now compared to a lot of the supports. So I don't think this unit is going to fall in the meta in any way. We'll have to see though, who knows? But that's my thought. Yes, I do think it's going to be weaker for people that bring it out in like their second pick. I think it's still extremely meaningful as a third, fourth, fifth pick. Fire Gandalf, you cannot pass. So it used to be attacks all enemies 3 times to remove all beneficial effects with a 40% chance on each hit. Now it will attack all enemies 1 time to remove all beneficial effects, so there's no RNG anymore. Well, there is. I think there's that still 15% rest chance, right? It's not like a Tiana. And then it disturbs the HP recovery for 2 turns, and then the total damage is increased. It's a strip that's more consistent now. I don't know, so I don't think the change is that meaningful. Gandalf Wind, the wisest. When you grant a shield on your ally, also decrease their chance of receiving a critical hit for 1 turn. So it's an anti-crit buff that gets onto the unit. So it's a shield and an anti-crit buff, I'm assuming. This is going to be interesting. I wonder if people will go like a first turn type of Wind Gandalf. Because you use skill 1, or I think skill 2 also gives a shield. Oh, but does that mean the removal of 1 harmful effect is no longer there? Dude, that's a crazy base speed too. Yeah, I think a lot of people will try and use him on Swift. Is that effect added? No, so you still get the removal. It's still there, but now you're getting another buff on top of that. I think it's gonna be a decent unit. Gandalf Light, Immortal Light. Ooh, like Gandalf. So it's whatever his passive is going to change into, if the skill is not on cooldown at the moment of death, revives with 30% HP and activates. Okay, so now the resets mean something. Oh shoot, then Zeros is going to just come back, right? Zeros is the way to go against these Gandalfs. Oh man, do I have to change my Pumbek to a Zeros then? I think Pumbek is still extremely usable because I know that there is a buff on him later on. I think he got like a 10% damage increase, so that's good. But now Zeros is also extremely viable against Light Gandalf because the reset is just that good. Also, if you could build an AO where Samath could put in a reset before your damage dealer moves, that's going to also be viable. Gandalf Dark. So the entire family got touched. So this should be a buff, right? Final Lightning. When attacking on your turn while Final Lightning is on cooldown, stuns the enemy with a 50% to 80% chance. Okay, just a more consistent stun chance. I don't know if that was his problem. I went against this unit and he stuns extremely consistently, to my surprise. But I don't think what he did was enough. Something else needed to change, I think. I think, the additional percentage is not going to really help this unit being used more. Dragon Warrior, Water, Wind, and Light, Dragon's Breath. This is the skill, since it's on 3 units, it's skill 2, right? It takes the attack bar. As is, each hit disturbs HP recovery for 2 turns and absorbs attack bar by 10%. But now it's gonna change to each hit has a 40% chance. Ooh, that's low. To disturb HP recovery for 2 turns and oh, shoots 40% on the absorption as well. For Wind Dragon Warrior, his speed lead and his consistent strip is not going away. So I guess that's okay. We know that in RTA, the Dragon Warrior, the Wind Dragon Warrior does not have a horrible win rate. It has like 50% win rate, 50.5 when they saw last time. But a lot of people are arguing, especially the high level, that is being carried due to the follow-up of that Wind Dragon Warrior. It's not the Wind Dragon Warrior that's really carrying the games. It is like Dark Monkey or the Dark Arrogant that we're going to be seeing later on in this balance patch. So is this nerf justified on Dragon Warrior? I'm not sure, but I guess it's a nerf that's going to affect that entire playstyle. The people that used to bring out this control type of comp, taking that attack bar, controlling them with Dark Arrogant or Dark Monkey so that you could suppress the unit from moving, is all going to be weaker because the Wind Dragon Warrior skill 2 was also part of that, manipulating attack bar. That wasn't expected in my eyes. Dragon Warrior Light, his passive recovers your HP by 10%, now 15%. So he's going to be a little more annoying in arena defense, right? And I guess if you could use him correctly in RTA, it's a plus. He does recover a whole lot if there's a lot of debuffs that comes in after the initial burst. So I think that's an okay buff. I don't know how meaningful again it will be. I think his passive was already doing what it's supposed to do enough if it was brought out into the correct team. But again, maybe it's a little more annoying in arena defense. Arrogant Fire. Strider's counterattack. If your HP is full at the start of your turn, defends the ally with the lowest HP for 1 turn. So it has to be at the start of your turn, so he needs to move, and he has to be full health. I don't know, I'm not too... Is it going to be good? I don't know if it's going to be good. Doesn't seem like it's an arena defense type of thing. I mean, you don't use him in arena offense. It's going to be used for Siege. I guess RTA, if you could find a way to use him, because in that sense, you could kind of control if you're going to go first or second. So if you do want to go first with Dark Arrogant, you can start off the battle and put a defend on one of your allies with the lowest HP. For example, usually a damage dealer. That could be annoying, but then if the opponent moves second and has a strip, then it's kind of mute. The thing is it's every turn if he is full health. So if you do pair him up with a healer and he is full health each time, that defend is not going to go away, right? So I guess there's that. It could be interesting. I have to see a comp with it. Arrogant Dark. So it's skill 3, right? Each hit increases cooldown by 1 turn and decreases attack speed for 2 turns. So this was very consistent before. Now each hit has a 50% chance to increase cooldown by 1 turn and decrease it. Oh. So again, RNG, unfortunately, right? They're adding a lot of these RNG stuff. But I heard from a high-level player, I watched Skit, so I heard from Skit that this was somewhat needed because a lot of people were getting away with going 100 res Arrogance with low accuracy and still landing all of their resets and slows. Now you can't do that because you effectively need accuracy to be able to land your debuffs and reset. So it's going to be very hard for the players to, get all the speed, get 100 res, and also get close to max accuracy for the Arrogant to perform consistently. We'll have to see, but again, it's something that a lot of people don't like to see, as you don't want to add more RNG into the game. But at this point, I think it's inevitable. There's just too much RNG all around. So is adding one more a flaw? In a small picture, yes, but in the whole sense of things, it doesn't change anything. The game is already built around that, so what can we do? Hellhound. Oh, the Shumar. The passive. Effect removed. Decreases the damage you take from enemies with lower attack speed than yours by 50%. I thought this was a huge nerf. And I think a lot of people agree. But I think it's a huge nerf, and it's essentially making this unit no longer usable in RTA. But at the same time, a lot of people argue that the Hellhounds were just too strong in siege defense and it had to be changed. But really, you're taking away more than one thing compared to everything else. Was he that strong in RTA? First of all, no, right? He had lower than 50% win rate. I think it was like 47. That's pretty damn low. And then for Siege, some people argue that there are ways to deal with it, and also another perspective says, figuring out how to deal with those type of defenses is enjoying the game. Although sometimes violent procs can destroy that. Even if you bring out the best team or the perfect team that deals with that type of defense, violent procs could go the other way. I feel like the effect for 50% was a little too much. So maybe bringing it down to 30% or 40, even 40% was going to be good. And then I like what they changed. The value change, increase your crit rate by 50 to 30%. Attacking enemies with the lower attack speed than yours was a great change. So I think that would have been more balanced. Like they still leave the effect. I think like 30% would have been still usable in a way. Because nobody is ruining up the Shumar on high HP, right? If you take that away, now people have to give it some HP if you want to use it in RTA essentially, because yeah, I don't think it's usable in RTA. For Siege, you could just argue that you just make it a glass cannon and maybe it'll work. But for RTA, you need some survivability. You can't get away with survivability. Because if you think about it, the other units that are glass cannons, like this dark unit, this dark Hellhound, they have some sort of survivability mechanism into their kit. For example, Sonya, you get glanced, right? You get glanced if you have lower attack power than the Sonya. And also Rigna, if you're slower than her, you can never crit on her. So there are these mechanisms that allow these units to survive. And for Hellhound, that was this damage reduction. 50% was excessive. Yeah, it was very strong. But getting rid of the entire thing, I would have never guessed that. I think that I was at a point, because I only play RTA, I don't play Siege as much these days. I was at a point where like, damn, Shumar doesn't even need a buff because you rarely win with him. You have to be very lucky. Violent proc saves your games in most cases. So I don't think he's gonna get nerfed. And then what do you know? He is very strong in Siege. Yeah, I get that. So it was justified that some sort of nerf was gonna come in. But just stripping him from one of the core effects that he had in his kit, that's brutal. Chimera, water, well that's random. Crush. The attack on the selected target will always land as a critical hit. I mean, it's a nice addition, but at this point, the Chimera's kit is not that great. I think only Zeratus really shine. I'm going to talk in the perspective of RTA, because I'm playing RTA more these days. I don't play Siege as much. I rarely attack too, so sorry to my guild. So let's just talk in the RTA perspective. There's just so many better units than the Chimera, other than, I guess, you have to say the Zeratu. First of all, the others kind of scale off of speed, which makes them really weak against Leo, other than Rakan and Zeratu. So I think these buffs that they're getting is way too small for them to be usable in RTA, unless you're running some kind of cleave, because we do see some, wind Chimera cleaves ran by somebody. Tokebi Lord, water. Now see, I mean, they're adding back buffs to things that were nerfed too hard, and that's one good example is Tokebi Lord. The decreases the attack bar by 60%, now is 80%. If your max HP is higher than the enemy. Now, at that time, when Tokebi Lord was really strong, when I believe he absorbs the attack bar, not just decreases it, he absorbs the decreased amount. He was taking too many turns. I get that. But if you put Tokebi Lord with that kit in today's meta, is he still that strong? Is the real question. I don't think he'll be just as strong. Or am I wrong? I don't think he'll be just as strong. Because first of all, things like Josephine is so meta. these days. Everybody has a Josephine essentially. And if you bring in whatever strong CC, Josephine is almost a core pick. Also, things like Aya is a core pick, which does really well against things that put debuffs such as freezes and also branding. And knowing that Tokibi Lord has all of that, if you put him with the original kit in today's meta, is he that strong? I don't think so. I think the problem with Comptos is that sometimes they nerf a unit too hard. I guess it's both ways. They sometimes buff a unit too hard, but the other side is they nerf it too hard and then they try to bring it back, but it's still subpar to whatever they were before, and they still just never. They're just never at the same place they used to be. I think if Water Togepi Lord gets the previous treatment, he'll be still decently strong, but he won't be picked as much as he used to. But again, that's just me. I'm a merely P3 G1. I can't even say that. I'm a P1 RT player. Okay, I'm gonna go for my past record. I'm a P1 RT player that is just somewhat right now in G1. We don't know how I'll end, so I might be speaking out of my butt. Shadowcaster Water. Shadow within me recovers your HP by 50%. Is now to 100% of the counterattack damage. Oh shoot. I need to rune up my Shadowcast. I mean, it is runed up, but I think I'm going to change the build. This is insane, 100%. I think now this just incentivized everybody to build Minato on Despair or even Vio more. Vampire is a little excessive now, I think, because the vamp effect plus this 100%, it's going to be a lot. It might be too much. You might not need that much because Minatos usually aren't built on that much HP. I rather just give it 100 res. Again, I think 100 res. Decent speed. And then the attack that it needs. On a crit rate build, even maybe. Oracle Water Daydream. Puts all enemies to sleep for 1 turn. Decreases the Decreases the cooldown of all allies by 1 turn and recovers the HP of all allies by 50%. Why? Was Oracle that weak? Was Praha that weak? This is interesting. This is very interesting. They completely changed her effect. I actually have nothing to say here. I never thought that Praha's kit was bad. Skill 3, I thought it was decent. But maybe they don't like how, or how Josephine is countering so many CC. So they're like, okay, let's get rid of 1 CC and change it to something else. I actually don't know what the consensus, why they made, or what the decision was for this. But okay, it is what it is. Oracle Light, predict the future. Okay, removes all beneficial effects on all enemies with a 90% chance, and decreases the attack speed of enemies with the beneficial effect removed. Okay, 2B is the same 90% chance. Oh, so it changed back to continuous damage. Oh, continuous damage and the slow. Okay, so she got the special treatment, right? Because I believe the other oracles put dots, and the light one was the only one that put slow, but now she puts both. Okay. Oracle start and end, grants immunity on all allies for 3 turns. Okay. I mean, small buff. I mean, it's a great buff if you bring her into a team where the opponent does not have any strippers. Then this 3-turn will is crazy strong. But these days, everybody, or most people draft some kind of stripper in their draft. So I don't think it's that meaningful unless you bring it out in the right team. Nina Williams, Water, Fire, Dark. I believe I have the Water one. The first hit removes 1 beneficial effect, but the 60% chance is now the 80% chance. Okay. The Fire one attacks the enemy to destroy its max HP and increase cooldown. It's going to change to attacks the enemy to deal damage, ignoring the defense. Ooh. The damage amount is decreased from the skill change. Okay, so she's doing less damage now though. No, I mean, someone will have to damage test this. I don't know what she really does, like how, if it's a single target. Yeah, it's a single target skill, so I don't even know what her usual damage looked like. So somebody will have to test this out. The wind one, max cooldown decrease. Paul Phoenix, the water and dark one. I do have the water one ruined up. I wonder if I should use it because the HP recovery increased. I actually didn't know that you have to hit an enemy with a harmful effect to get the heal. It just shows that I didn't really use this unit too much. The wind one. At the start of your turn, decrease the cooldown of the... At the start of your turn, decreases the cooldown of the ally, excluding yourself with the highest attack bar by 1. Whoa. That's interesting. I'm pretty sure some people are going to be building an interesting team around this. That's an interesting mechanic. Every turn, whoever has the highest attack bar is going to get a cooldown decrease. That's interesting. Triss. I have a LD. I have a light Triss. Okay. Water, wind, light. Light. So the first hit inflicts continuous damage for 2 turns, and the second hit blocks harmful effects. Harmful effect removal for 2 turns, and now it's going to change to the continuous damage and harmful effect removal. Okay, so it's not first one, second one. It's just first and second hit will do both, which is good. Cool. Removing harmful effect is really helpful in arena offense. The dark one, dude, I saw the damage on this girl and she actually does decent damage. Ignores defense by 50% by a harmful effect granted on the enemy. Now it's going to change to ignores defense if the enemy is granted with a harmful effect. Wow, she's going to be very consistent now. So if they have a harmful effect, it's guaranteed ignore defense, not a percentage type of thing. Justice, wow. Fire. Do I even have a fire justice? I have to see which units I have here. Law enforcement. Enemy target decreases its HP by 15% per effect removal up to 60%. Oh, but it went up to 25% to 75%. That's a decent increase. And for the allied target, it will increase from 15 to 25. I think it's gonna be hard to use. Sky Cipher Fire, Plasma Bomb. So it used to be installs a bomb that detonates after 2 turns on an enemy, on all enemies, excluding the target. Excluding the target changed to including the target. The damage of the bomb that detonates after 1 turn installed on the target is decreased by 40. Wait. What does this mean? Installs a bomb that detonates after 2 turns on all enemies. Didn't always use that except the one that you selected. I thought that was 1 turn. Oh, wait. Is he adding 2 bombs now? So he used to put a bomb, a 1-turn bomb onto the selected target and a 2-turn bomb to everybody else. But it's saying that now the selected target will get a 1-turn bomb and everybody will then get a 2-turn bomb. And that's why it's saying the damage of the bomb that detonates after 1 turn installed on the target is decreased by approximately 49%. But then does that mean everybody else takes a lesser hitting bomb? If I'm wrong, let me know, but that's how I'm reading it. Phoenix, Fire. Okay, they're touching Perna because, she's getting more and more out of the meta as there are, stronger and units that are doing more. Perna was strong 10 years ago probably, and now she's pretty much fallen off. Puppeteer Fire attacks all enemies to remove. Now steals all beneficial effects. Okay. Puppeteer Wind. Smeiser removes 1 beneficial effect with a 50% chance. Is now a 70% chance. Okay, I like this because I really felt like the Wind Puppeteer's strip chance was extremely inconsistent, even with decent accuracy. Sage Wind Lightning Cycle. Oh, they fixed it. It used to say Pioneer. Lightning Cycle damage is increased by approximately 10%. I like that. Jin Kazuma Wind deals additional damage in proportion to the difference between your attack power and the enemies. To be deals additional damage in proportion to your attack power if your attack power is higher than the enemy. So now I guess he has a set exponential, set multiplier, but now it's even more than that. Jin Kazuma Dark. Grand Soul Protection is now invincible and immunity on yourself for 1 turn each. I think that's good. Wait, is that better? I don't know if that's better. Sword protection means you come back to life, right? Now, I don't have this unit, but for people that do, is this a buff or is that a nerf? I mean, it should be a buff. That doesn't make sense if it's a nerf because people weren't using him. Aya Light deals 40, now 60% of the enemy's target max HP as damage. I don't know this unit too much, and we know that people weren't using her. Does this make her come out of storage? Not too sure. Legolas Light. I know there's one G2, G3 player that uses the Light Legolas a lot. Whenever an ally, including yourself, attacks the enemy with a critical hit, increases your attack power and defense by 5% up to 100, is now by 10% up to 150%. I think it was Roxas. Forgot his name, but I think he uses Light Legolas. He should be happy. Art Master, Dark Mask of Devil, a Moog War change, effect added, so it's a buff. Decreases the ally target's chance of receiving a critical hit for 3 turns, so an anti-crit buff. Okay. Bayek, a Dark Desert Warrior. Passive. An Eagle Blade Disc attacks a random enemy to leave a branding effect for 1 turn. Is changed to decreases its defense for 1 turn. Hey, the better debuff. The much better debuff for sure. Why am I so not happy with this? But who knows? Maybe there could be a use. There could be a use, right? Because I mean, it's stun defense break 1 turn. If it was 2 turns, I think that'd have been a great buff. And still, people won't use it as much. Or maybe not. Who knows? Brownie Magician, Water. Yeah, I saw this. Oblivion. Man, Nat 4 towers are gonna have Brownie Magicians now. They're so annoying. Ninetail Fox. Okay, I'm not too interested in these because they're not really using RTA. Phantom Thief Water attacks all enemies. Ooh, hey, this is good for freaking AO. Okay, you might try using that. And then Phantom Thief Dark. I saw this one was interesting. Grants Vampire on yourself for 1 turn when you're attacking. So he has much more survivability. Again, it just solidifies his build in offense or defense. I think Vio is going to be the best build for sure. Because you get that survivability by yourself from that Vampire effect. Yeah, so that's essentially the balance patch. I think Shumar got gutted. I think that's really bad. I don't think he was worthy of getting gutted that bad. I think, you know, just touching some of the values. I like the 50% to 30% difference. How they reduced the crit rate buff that he gets if he's faster. I think that was too much. So 30% is good. And even at that point, I think, at least for RTA, it's much harder for you to rune up a Shumar that does a lot of damage because you have to get that much more crit rate. He's not going to be as impactful as a first turn snipe. Also, getting rid of his survivability is kind of a bummer. The idea had to stem from Siege because a lot of people, everybody was running Shumar on the Nat 4 tower. I like the Pungbek buff. I like the Smicer buff. Am I happy with Aragon nerf? Yeah, I guess so, because I mean, I don't have him and he was very strong. I think this unit was too strong for sure. His win rate was way too high in RTA, and we could argue that this guy is mostly using RTA, so I think it was a valid nerf. I think Draken Warrior nerf was too much. He's just really an enabler. But now the water one is also unusable essentially. I mean, he wasn't being used a lot anyways, but it's also not gonna be used even more. Gandalf nerf is decent, but at the same time, it doesn't kill the unit. I think still a lot of people will have it ruined. I want to get the Wind one. The Wind one looks interesting as well. And Tokebi Lord again, I just think they should just bring back his original kit, and I think he'll still be fine. The Minato, I am gonna be ruining up a decent Minato. But yeah, I see what I have to change by de-ruining my Shumar, because Shumar is unusable in RTA now. I'll be freeing up some decent Violent Runes because I do have a decent set on Shumar right now. Looks like this. Yeah, so now I could give these Violent Runes to somebody else. These are some premium runes, guys. Yep. Oh, what the heck? Oh, wow. Okay. I was able to even make it better. Damn. 10. Oh, that's good. I do want a 12 here at the very least, but we'll take that slow. Love that. I think I have one. I kind of want to go on a 10 here too. This is worthy, right? This is worthy. Oh my goodness. Okay. Those are my thoughts for RTA. Hope you guys enjoyed it. What do you guys think of the balance patch? I know I'm gonna put this out a little late because I edit all my videos during the weekend, so it's gonna be a little later than everybody else. Yeah, I think for Siege, Shumar was the only hit that it trickled down into RTA too, so nobody's gonna be using Shumar now in RTA, and I guess Siege too. Yeah, I guess Shumar's just dead. Damn, what are they gonna do for those people that build like 5-6 Shumars? There are people that did that, right? Multiple Shumars. That's a lot of dimensional energy there. Although it did get a lot cheaper to be making those 2As, but still, I wouldn't want to waste all those dimensional energies for that unit. Well, I guess free skill ups now.